Welcome to Spotlight series where we bring you conversation that shape the future. Today is we decode the Union Budget 2025-2026 with insights from none other than Mr. Sanjeev Puri. He's the managing director of ITC and his analysis will help us understand how this budget unlocks new business opportunities, fuels economic growth, and prepares industries for the next decade.
Building on the transformation that the economy has gone through with budgets in the past that have focused on inclusive and sustainable growth, I think the same principle applies here. And if I just take out some important facets of this budget, I think several sectors, there is potential to create a lot of economic activity and job. Specific targeted measures have taken place, right from agriculture, which employs nearly half of India's workforce, MSME, which again a very labor-intensive sectors. There is also sector of exports that is being focused upon, and also there is very clearly investment in the economy in areas that require for India to grow and thrive, whether it's human capital development, whether it's to reform urban infrastructure and urban governance, to unlock the potential of future-facing technologies, lot of focus on innovation, lot of focus on areas like as which are important from climate transition, for example, the target on nuclear plants. So several important announcements there. And above all, I think very important, a lot of focus on reform and ease of doing business, and particularly about collaboration with states on some of these sectoral interventions and incentivization towards reform. I think this is a very important focus that the budget has brought it, because a lot of the next set of reforms that have to happen at the state. And very importantly, this budget has also given that consumption is 60% of the economy of the GDP. It had also provided relief to the middle class on a personal income tax, which is welcome, which it should spur consumption going forward, and therefore a virtuous cycle of consumption, and therefore uh, investments and employment. I think it's a very welcome step. And wise all these investments have happened, many sectors have been touched, reform has been focused about, collaboration with states has been focused about. I think there are also a lot of reforms that have been brought in from an ease of doing perspective, from the taxation perspective. Very notable is also simplification, radicalization. Also very important is the safe harbor and certainty kind of measures. So lot of positives here. And despite providing all the relief in the personal income tax and the investments in the economy, I think fiscal prudence has been maintained. Fiscal deficit announced is 4.4. Even this year, it was about 0.1% better than the estimate. So all in all, I think a very good, positive budget augurs well for the future of the networks.
What do you think about because the farmers are getting a good share in this budget? Second, and the third thing is about the 12.75 lakhs, which in the low income tax. What do you think about all these three?
So regarding the first point, you see, CII's focus has always been on on suggestions for nation building, and we're happy to see that several of our suggestions have been considered in this budget. Now, as far as agriculture is concerned, I think the focused and integrated approach that is being articulated is very welcome. I think this is the way to bring a transformation in agriculture, which has got huge potential. Given the large arable land that India has got, the world is struggling through food and nutrition security, and it provides an opportunity for India to grow vertically and become the food bowl of the world. And very importantly, it will also improve farmer incomes, and even the high labor intensity, this improvement in farmer incomes will have a strong multiplier effect on the economy. And on the income tax, I think I already mentioned it is very welcome, and it was required for the middle class. It will certainly spur consumption and therefore investment and employment. This certainly set in place a virtuous cycle. And I think also it will, when more consumption happens, it also adds a share of buoyancy to revenues as well.
But Mr. Puri, how will that help the government in meeting their fiscal deficit target? Because they're going to share them. They're going to lose a good share of their revenues that come in each year. Also, second, capex revised target was in lower than what they had targeted. Does that bother you with the investment scenario?
So, firstly, as far as the the loss on personal the revenue that is being foregone, I think after balancing all that, the Honorable Finance Minister has said 4.4, so it's being factored in. And as far as capex is concerned, we don't have a figure. We have to yet study the fine print. But very important announcement there as far as resource mobilization is concerned is the national monetization pipeline of 10 lakh crores 2.0. I think that's a very strong measure for resource mobilization.
So folks, that was Mr. Sanjeev Puri, MD of ITC and President of CII, sharing his expert insights on the future of businesses, opportunities in this year's budget. From emerging industries to game-changing policies, it's clear that the road ahead is filled with possibilities and good news for the farmers. And for agriculture industry, business owners and farmers, there is a good news. This budget opens new doors for growth, investment and sustainability in the sector. Stay tuned as we continue to bring you more insights on businesses, innovation and economic transformations. Until next time, keep watching Spotlight series where the future of business takes center stage.